Did you ever think of how much of your life is on your computer? That's why you need the online backup service, Carbonite. Stay tuned for a special offer for Komando viewers after this video. Let's step back in time and take a look at those once exciting, revolutionary products. You're going to love this look at 8 technologies that were once cutting edge, but are now in the trash can. Remember this classic 1980s TV commercial?
Is it live or is it Memorex?
The good old cassette. Where have you gone? First created in the 1960s, the audio cassette was a huge hit in the 1980s and into the 90s, before the CD killed it. Do you remember what was on your favorite mixtape? And if you had a high-end cassette deck, did you engage Dolby noise reduction for some truly below-average sound quality? For the record, 2005 was the last year any record labels produced cassettes, but you can still find them in China. Rock on. Speaking of really average sound, check out this home video of an original Z28 Camaro equipped with a state-of-the-art 8-track player. The 8-track was the sound choice of the 1960s and 70s, and I would argue that the quality was better than that of the cassette. But when the smaller cassette arrived, it meant the death of the 8-track, and record labels stopped using it in 1988. For the record, Boston on 8-track, nothing better. While the iPod, the iPad, and the laptop may be sound choices of today, back in the day, Sony owned the market when it came out with portable audio. Remember the Walkman? Believe it or not, this device was considered small back in the days of leg warmers and bodysuits. You just popped in your cassette and you were ready for aerobics class. For the record, Sony stopped production just this past April on its most recent version of the Walkman. When it came to video, 30 years ago, this relic ruled. The VHS VCR was created in 1976 and became hugely popular in the 1980s when its price became more affordable. The VCR made home movie watching easy, and the studios jumped on the VHS bandwagon, cranking out title after title. A VHS fun fact, in 2005, A History of Violence was the last major motion picture to be released on VHS. If you still own VHS movies, here's an important tip. Stand those tapes up when storing them. That way, the tape won't fold onto itself. If you store them on the side, you'll get those nasty video tears. Tearing wasn't a problem with the Laserdisc, sort of like a giant CD but for movies. Talk about a relic. Even at their peak, Laserdiscs weren't terribly popular. That's because the Laserdisc was very expensive. Still, hardcore film buffs loved them. At the time, it didn't offer much better image quality than the VHS tape, but the Laserdisc was a niche market at best. Pioneer officially stuck a fork in it in 2009. When it comes to viewing still images, there are a couple of relics worth mentioning here. The Polaroid Instamatic was a legendary camera of its time, with the ability to take and then produce a photograph right from the camera. This is one technology relic I miss, and a lot of people agree with me. Polaroid listened and has announced the introduction of a new digital instant camera. And remember the carousel slide projector? These devices were huge back in the 60s and 70s, and a staple item for parties and schoolrooms across the country. But digital media made the slide projector a relic, and Kodak killed it in 2004. And finally, in the 1980s, there weren't any portable external hard drives, no thumb drives or zip drives. So what in the world did you use for portable storage? Ah, the floppy disk, of course. The originals were 8 inches wide and could only store 1.5 megabytes. Manufacturers tried to make them smaller and added storage space, but when Apple removed the disk drive in 1998 and Dell did the same in 2004, we all said goodbye to the floppy disk. I just wonder what we're going to say about the iPhone 30 years from now. Hey, thanks for joining us here at tvkim.com. Please stay tuned for a special offer from our sponsor. Carbonite is online backup made easy. More than 1 million users, including me, trust Carbonite to keep our files safe. As a Komando viewer, you get a free 15-day trial and 2 months free if you decide to buy. Just go to Carbonite.com and use promo code KIM. Carbonite. Back it up, get it back.